What's up, everybody? Thralls here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have yet another album review for you. And one that kind of snuck on our radar, I guess. Actually, this was a band that Shredlord kind of tuned me into, and I checked out and I really liked their first offering. And he would be here, but he got a fucking flat tire today, so give Shred a little bit of love, because, yeah, fucking flat tires suck.
Yeah, they do. I'm not a fan of flat tires. I've had them from time to time. Never on review day, though.
No.
That sucks even more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, send that man a little bit of love. Give him an encouraging word. Talk about tires with air in them.
Yeah, he would appreciate that.
Yeah, he really would.
So today we are going to go over the latest offering from Drain, Living Proof. This comes out also on the 5th of May on Epitaph Records. This band formed in 2014 in Santa Cruz, California. This is their second album overall. Again, Shred turned me on to their first album, California Cursed. I really dug it. And that was on Revelation Records. They've graduated, I guess, up to Epitaph, which is definitely a bigger label. And, well, this is hardcore with a lot of crossover thrash infused in it. I mean, pretty much if you're a fan of Power Trip, but also Sick of It All and Terror, you're probably going to like this. In fact, I would say this is Terror with distinctly more smiling in it, because once you get a look at their frontman and how grinny and happy he looks in every fucking video, yeah, it's kind of unnerving. It kind of reminds me a lot of Jason Segel's character in SLC Punk, where it's just super calm, and then he takes off the glasses and fucking puts your face through a fucking car windshield.
Yeah, kind of like that. I don't know how easy it is to do hardcore vocals with smiling. I've never...
He seems to excel at it. Because, I mean, this is just a rowdy fucking listen. This isn't even a half an hour long, and it is packed with tons of great riffs, big hardcore chugs, breakdowns, fucking bounces. Everything on this album is designed to get people moving and fucking moshing. Which means, once again, if I go see this band live, I'm going to have to hang back because all the young kids have better knees and shoulders and joints and literally everything than me.
And better balance. I can't karate kick without falling over.
I can't karate kick, period.
I should really reiterate, I can't karate kick, period. I don't often move my legs for much more than just walking. Even running's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, and this is that kind of album. This is the kind of album that maybe if I was younger, I would be trying to do pit cry to, because it really just kind of gets the blood boiling. You have all the tropes of hardcore, namely bands like Sick of It All. I definitely got some Agnostic Front in there, but also a ton of crossover thrash. This, I think, would appeal to people that are big fans like Municipal Waste and DRI and shit like that, as much as it would appeal to just fans of just nasty hardcore.
First track, Run Your Luck, comes in, really just thrashy hardcore vibes. Crunchy guitar. That guitar is just really nasty sounding. Out front, clean, clear, punchy drums, a very natural bass sound. Pretty much what you'd want from hardcore, just done really well.
Yeah, the production here is spotless. I wouldn't say clean, there's definitely a lot of grit on it, just in terms of guitar tone and bass, but it sounds mixed super well.
Yeah, clean in the sense that it's mixed super well. I don't want to say clean as in tone overall, but just you can hear it. You can hear individual pick scrapes. It's very defined, well pronounced.
I like how this song pretty much, it kind of runs. It starts off slow and picks up a gallop, gets a little bit faster, and then you get hit with a gigantic breakdown. And breakdowns, of course, are a huge thing in here because this is a fucking hardcore album. But these guys kind of delve into almost sort of slamish breakdowns, especially on FTSKYS, which I actually looked up what that stands for. And when you read it on its own without the context, it sounds really fucking dark, because it stands for Find the Strength, Kill Yourself. Which it's not about what it might sound like it's about. It's actually about finding all the shit you don't like about you and fucking killing it and becoming a better person. So, way to take something super negative sounding and turn it into a very positive, reaffirming, anthem. But also with a fuck ton of violence to it, because that song is fucking brutal as hell.
Yeah, it's even got some Slayer-esque melodies in it at times. But man, that breakdown is straight slam.
Oh, dude, it's just gross.
It's gross.
Even the vocalist kind of gets down a little bit lower. You get some good low growls in here because his vocal delivery is pretty much just a straight up hardcore delivery. Very similar to Scott Vogel, except, again, more smiling, but, a little bit higher up overall. But, I mean, it's delivered with conviction. I would say everything on here is delivered with conviction because everything on here just seems to, thrive on the energy. Because, I mean, honestly, a lot of these riffs will probably sound familiar. If you've been listening to hardcore for years or even, crossover thrash, there's a lot of stuff on here that, you can definitely pull from tons of different bands. But it's how it's combined and orchestrated that really matters because these songs don't waste a fucking moment.
Nope. And there's really no time to waste either. This record clocks in at just over 25 minutes. 25 minutes and 10 seconds to be exact. You can't afford to waste time. There's not a lot of filler on this record whatsoever, albeit a strangely odd track in the intermission.
Yeah, apparently their buddy's a rapper. I guess his name is Shakewell, and you get this, I guess, West Coast hip-hop sort of opening to it?
I don't know. I would have to ask. My girlfriend's from the West Coast. I would have to ask her. I'm not really certain. I'm out of the hip hop.
I mean, they're from California. I'm going to go ahead and say
I'm going to go ahead and say West Coast.
Yeah.
West Coast hip hop. But yeah, not too long after that, though, it breaks into their trope of hardcore.
In terms of things that are titled intermission or interlude or anything like that, this was surprisingly pretty good, and it cleverly blends the two styles.
Mm-hmm.
Starts off with the hip-hop, and, admittedly, I'm not, the biggest hip-hop fan, but how it segues into the hardcore fucking beatdown, it builds up in intensity, and you can kind of hear this welling energy behind it, and then all of a sudden it comes in and just beats the shit out of you with, again, pummeling grooves.
Very chuggy.
Oh, dude.
Ooh.
Supremely chuggy. This is definitely chug central, but what I like about this is how they interject metal into it. Because I would say this is mostly a hardcore album, but when you get down to these big beefy chugs, you'll get cool metal tags at the end, you'll get some cool crossover thrash moments, especially on Devil's Itch and Evil Finds Light, and especially Imposter. Imposter is a fucking barn burner. But occasionally they kind of flip that script and go more metal, and then kind of use hardcore as more of the thing. Watch You Burn and Weight of the World. Both of those songs are distinctly more metallic sounding. The riffs are definitely more metal centric, definitely more thrash metal. I would even say a little bit of Pantera groove metal.
Dude, Weight of the World definitely was.
Oh, dude, that song flat out crushes. Honestly, one of my favorite riffs on the entire album. It's an instant fucking hook. And it's kind of instantly familiar because there's a lot of stuff in here that reminds me of the 90s. And yeah, that was kind of where I started getting into my own music at that point.
It even doubles down that sound on the song Living Proof. First of all, the longest song on the record, 3 minutes and 22 seconds. It starts off, I think, Welcome to the Jungle. It's got that cowbell groove, and then it's got the bounce to it.
There's a little bit of kind of southern friedness to the riffs a bit.
Yeah.
It screams 90s groove metal, but being played by a hardcore band, and they segue back and forth between more distinctly hardcore moments and this sort of groove metal swagger. And that is something that kind of keeps this album fresh. Not only is the intensity fucking just through the fucking roof on here, but using, I would say minimal ingredients, because they're not pulling from a lot of different camps here, but it's how they're arranged in here. These songs pretty much keep that steady flow of energy going, and I would say there isn't a moment on here where the crowd would stop moving if they just continuously played this.
They're only gonna stop moving to clean up the blood.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
Just wheel that body out in the cart.
Oh, there's teeth in the pit again. Hold on.
Those are mine!
My teeth!
And that last track was kind of a moment where they kind of got off of, the main chorus on here, because the main chorus in here is, I would say, hardcore. Hardcore, again, with more thrashy riffs kind of mingled in. But there is one song that I think is decidedly different, mainly that's because it's a cover, and that's their cover of Descendants' Good Good Things, which, honestly, I love the Descendants. I've been listening to them for a while. I don't own the album that has this song, though, and I feel like I should, because it's a really catchy fucking song. I own Everything Sucks, and I bought it mainly because Coffee Mug whoops ass. It's a great 34 seconds of fucking punk about coffee. But this song is catchy, and it really shows off their clean vocals, which are just kind of straightforward. They don't sound obnoxiously poppy.
It sounds like the Foo Fighters.
It really does. It has a Foo Fighters sort of power pop hook to it, Big fucking chorus. And even though I have not listened to this song, I would say they pretty much nailed it because it really kind of sounds like Descendants, albeit with a much heavier, thrashier guitar. And again, I was really impressed by the vocals on here, like, solid throughout. But, that one kind of branched out a little bit. Like, the vocal delivery on here is pretty much I'll fight you sort of style vocals. And dude nails it. Especially when he gets down low in the breakdowns. Like, that has some, like, serious energy to it. Like the little cherry on top breakdown at the end of Evil Finds Light, which if you guys haven't seen that music video, watch that music video. It's thoroughly entertaining. As far as negatives on here, there's one negative. There's one negative, and it sucks because it comes at the end of it.
The very end.
And like I was having a great time all throughout this fucking album. But the title track, Living Proof, like as the song's going, and it's fun. It's got again that good like 90s groove metal swing to it mixed with the hardcore. Like it's fucking awesome. And then you hear the frontman yell out the song title, and generally that means, oh shit, I'm about to get hurt. And then you just kind of get this droning riff that you think is going to lead into a breakdown.
Because it builds.
It does.
Yep.
And then it just kind of progressively slows down the track, and it just ends. And man, I feel like there was a missed opportunity to close this on like the most intense moment because you could feel it. You could feel all that welling up.
It was an acacia strain trick. Like it got slower and slower, and like the drone, it was just heavier, and you could tell something was coming, and then it never came.
Yeah. And man, dude, talk about a case of fucking breakdown blue balls. Like that was pretty rough. And I feel like they delivered on that so many points on here. Like Weight of the World, when they halftime that main fucking riff, dude, like that's almost a throw a chair fucking moment. But like to close it like that, it did kind of bug me. But I mean, overall, the entire album though was fucking fun. Like this is kind of a throwback, but in a way still kind of, just like a resurgence of this whole like metallic hardcore thing that's been going on. And this is done really well. I love the fucking riffs. I love the energy. I'm going to go ahead and give this 4 stars. Despite leaving me hanging at the end, everything else up to that point was fucking killer. The riffs are great. I like the, working in of just like metal tags, the end of hardcore riffs, and then switching gears and just going full tilt metal in some spots. The production on here is absolutely excellent. The energy, again, it stays fucking peaked. It stays rowdy. Like they condensed this down to 25 minutes, and honestly, I wouldn't say there's any real filler in here. And there's an intermission track. And generally, that's where my bitching starts.
And a hip-hop intermission track,
and
nonetheless.
Honestly, even though I'm not much of a hip-hop fan, it's well done. It's well executed. This album sounds like a fucking party. Like someone rented a fucking shitty, beat-up fucking house and was like, yeah, we're having a rager, and we don't care if you destroy this place. It's totally fine. That is pretty much the vibe of this album. If you're a big fan of bands like Sick of It All, Terror, I would even say like Municipal Waste, Power Trip. I think Power Trip should be mentioned in there too. Go check this out. It's fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's a 4 for me too. To be honest, I didn't really know what I was getting into because the only Drain I knew of was Drain STH, and this isn't that. I saw the video before we did this review for Evil Finds Light, and it sold me immediately because if I had found this when I was 15 years old, dude, I would have been hooting and hollering and ranting and raving and dying to go see these guys at a show. It just has that kind of like early 90s vibe to it. Just pissed off teenager, school sucks, fuck, I'm gonna throw this chair, that kind of vibe. Tons of riffs, dude. Like way more riffs than I think you would normally find on a hardcore record, mostly because it's like crossover. There's a lot of crossover thrash going on in here. I got a lot of like early Pantera vibes, Anthrax, even a little bit of Slayer here and there. Hatebreed. The energy is constant. They're always on the move, and even during their little hip-hop thing, which normally wouldn't work, but at the same time, I was into Stuck Mojo as a kid. So maybe that's a nod. I don't know. Maybe it's a Stuck Mojo nod. Maybe it's not. I don't know. They did it well. I'm not the world's biggest hip-hop aficionado either, but what they did well. Dude, the breakdowns in here are sick. The production on this album is killer. Yeah, it's a 4 for me because I had a lot of fucking fun listening to it. And that guy does smile a lot.
He does smile.
You can tell
a lot.
the band is having fun, dude. Especially if you watch the video for Evil Finds Light. Just watch it. You're gonna get it. You'll get it. You'll get it immediately.
It's great.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. If you'd like to help us out there, there's a link down below to thrallsmetal.com. Our Patreon link is down there, as well as our store, which we will be loading up on some merch. We're still discussing what we're doing as far as designs.
Toying with ideas.
We will definitely keep you posted, because we got some kind of cool ideas we're tumbling around with. Hopefully we don't forget them, because, getting older, we forget things.
And hopefully we don't actually tumble either. I need to stock up on Advil, if that's going to be the case.
I heard all of your fucking joints pop as you sat down.
Oh, it's bad, kids. Don't get older. Don't do it. But thank you for those of you kids who haven't stopped being thrilled about Thralls of Metal and what we do. We are actually having a giveaway right now because we're on the precipice of 15,000 subscribers. We will be giving away 10 CDs to one lucky commenter. All you have to do is go down there and leave a comment, and a randomizer will pick out your name once we hit 15,000, which is really fucking close. I can't believe I'm saying those words about a YouTube channel that I'm on. 15,000 subscribers. Holy shit.
That's amazing. And yeah, you guys are the real heroes. You do keep us going. All the comments, the interaction, it's great. Like, we're running into you guys at shows, like chatting you guys up. Man, I live for fucking talk metal, obviously. And, it's been such an awesome ride so far, and we're looking forward to pumping out a lot more content. We got some cool ideas coming. So with that, once again, we thank you all, because this is the thank you part of the video, and we fucking mean it, and we will catch you later.